international dances. So what is international dances? International dances are a catch-call term for the competitive version of ballroom dances. There are two main categories: international standards, which includes the tango and the Venice waltz, and the international Latin, which includes the rumba, the paso doble, and the cha-cha-cha. In 1982, the Dance Committee of ITI founded the International Dance Day to be celebrated every year on the 29th of April. The birthday of Jean George Navere, 1927 to 1890, the creator of modern ballet. So what is the ballroom dances? These dances started appearing first in Italy during the early years of Renaissance. Popularity of this kind of entertainment quickly swept over the Europe, United States, and the world. There are 10 different kinds of ballroom dances, which is waltz, tango, rumba, mambo, jive, Venice waltz, cha-cha-cha, samba, quick step, and bolero. First is we're gonna explain the waltz. Waltz, this graceful and slow two-person dance was first introduced in mid-19th century and was greatly popularized by the music of the famous composer Johann Strauss. Today, this dance represents gold standard and the most famous dance of the ballroom around the world. This ballroom dance has 3/4 time with strong accent on the first beat and a basic pattern of step close. Second, the Venice waltz. Originally form of waltz, the first performed at the Italian court, is today remembered as Venice waltz. It differs from the much more famous English slow waltz by having much faster 180 beats per minute and was the first who introduced close hold between performers. Then the third is the tango. Tango is originally created in the Argentinian region of Rio de la Plata. This dance today known by many of its variations for the Argentina tango, Uruguayan tango, Finnish tango, and the two types of ballroom tangos, which is the standard and American, and the fascinating, sensual, and energetic style. Tango dance is usually performed by a man and a woman, expressing an element of romance in their synchronized movements. Originally, the tango was performed only by women, but once it spread beyond Buenos Aires, it developed into a dance for couples. Fourth is the cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha is, alam naman natin kung anong cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha, familiar na po tayo dito. So, cha-cha-cha, this incredibly rhythmic dance created in Latin America, managed to meld together both the slow and very energetic movements, making it an instant hit among the dancers around the world. Cha-cha-cha is a fast rhythmic ballroom dance of Latin America, originated with a basic pattern of 3 steps and a shuffle. Fifth is the rumba. Rumba popularity of this Cuban dance came from its focus on sensual hip movements of dance partners. Since its creation in 1930s, many types of rumba were created, most notably Cuban rumba with the style of African slaves, which created it. Catalan rumba with Spanish flavor, flamenco rumba, and African rumba. This dance was said to be representing the male pursuit of a woman, and the music played with a staccato beat to keep time with the expressive movements of the dancers. Next is samba. Samba is a famous dance and musical genre that originated from the coast of Africa and land of Brazil. Today, infectious rhythm of samba is regarded as the national dance of Brazil, and its famous Brazilian carnival is gathered million samba dance fans every year. Next is Mambo. Mambo is a Cuban dance that accompanies the music of the same name, was introduced in 1930s and quickly managed to gain popularity with the exploits of famous musicians and dancers such as Perez Prado, Benny Moore, Tamolele, Adalberto Martinez, Ros Carmina, and Delia Prado. The next is the quick step. Quick step is a light-hearted and fast movements, powerful forms, and syncopations represents the core styles characteristic of the quick step. One of the famous or the popular ballroom dances today in the world. Originally developed in the 1920s dance scenes of New York and the Caribbean. As the combination of the dances such as Charleston, a slow variation of foxtrot, vivat, shag, and one step. The smooth and glamorous version of quick steps that is danced today across the world to 4/4 music beat of 48 to 52 measures per minute was standardized in 1927. Next is the jive. Jive is one of the 5 most popular Latin dances, and it is also known under the names of swing, boogie, or the boogie woogie. It is considered to be one of the liveliest of all Latin dances, promoting the happy and loopy type of performances with lots of knee movement, hip rocking. Its official ballroom jive variation that is commonly danced at a speed of 176 beats per minute was formalized in the 1990s. Last for kinds of ballroom dances is bolero. Bolero is an Argentine dance, but it also has different international variation of the same name coming from Cuba and Spain. Today's popular ballroom version of this dance is based on the Cuban bolero, and it is also known under the name of rumba. This 2/4 or 4/4 music with a tempo of around 120 beats per minute that is well known all around the world. The next category is the African American and traditional jazz dances. The Afro jazz dance is a fusion of African, Afro-Brazilian, Caribbean, and jazz dance styles. Classes are upbeat and begin with a warm-up followed by a movement across the floor and a choreographed combination. Students should be barefooted. There are 5 different kinds of African American and traditional jazz dances. First is the Charleston, swing, second swing, third tap dance, the fourth moonwalk, and the boogie woogie. The first type of this dance or kind is the Charleston. This extremely popular dance type was popularized by famous tune called the Charleston by composer and pianist James P. Johnson. Charleston craze soon took over the enthusiastic dancers of Prohibition era of the United States. Next is the swing, which is familiar natin sa atin din. Swing is a dance today synonym for the jazz and swing music of the 1920s to 1930s. Because of many styles of jazz music, swing also comes in many flavors, such as Lindy Hop, Jitterbug, Boogie Woogie, West Coast Swing, and the rock and roll. Third is the tap dance. Tap dance is this extremely popular form of dance was first introduced during 1920s in the Prohibition era in the United States. Originally created by the African slaves, tap dancing came into the mainstream with the performance of Nicholas Brothers. Few short years later, tap dancing conquered Hollywood and then the entire world. The fourth is the moonwalk. Moonwalk is an extremely famous dance also, move that imitates the illusion of walking backwards was first performed by a pop icon, Michael Jackson. So, familiar naman tayo nito, yung sikat na moonwalk ni Michael Jackson in the 1983. And ever since then, it gained planetary fame. No single dance move over created managed to receive this amount of popularity and recognition. So, totoo nga. Ngayon noon, kahit ngayon, sikat pa rin yung moonwalk dahil palagi itong sinasayaw ni Michael Jackson. Last is the Boogie Woogie. This quick and energetic style of dance became widely popular during 1930s and 1940s. Boogie Woogie is a playful and improvised couple dance, often in medium or slightly fast tempo, with a significant footwork based on a musical interpretation. Boogie Woogie of today functions as a social dance, but sometimes recognized even more as an established competition dance. The third category of international dances is the worldwide dances or the Latin dances. Latin dances influence was the first derived from their native roots, the Aztecs, Guarani, Aymara, Incas, and the Tehuelches, among others. When 16th century seagoing explorers returned home to Portugal and Spain, they brought along tales of the native peoples. There are 10 different kinds of worldwide or the Latin dances. First is salsa, second flamenco, third Argentine tango, fourth lambada, polka, East Coast swing, capoeira, country or the western dances, folk dance, and the belly dance. The first kind is the salsa. Salsa is a Latin dance, today one of the most popular dances in Latin America, North America, Europe, and Australia. It's very sensual form, energetic movements, and innovative choreography that was influenced by mambo, changui, and the rumba, made it very popular all around the world. Next is the flamenco. This famous Spanish dance originated from the region of Andalusia, and it gained its name only in the 18th century. Its magical, passionate, and energetic fusion of singing or the cante, guitar playing or toque, dance, and hand claps or the palmas made it famous in the entire world and became one of the accepted heritage of the entire humanity. The Argentine tango. Among many types of tango dance, Argentine dance strives to preserve original form of tango that was first created in the region of Rio de la Plata. The fourth is the lambada. Lambada is a famous dance that originated from Brazil became internationally popular during 1980s. It managed to successfully fuse aspects of poro, salsa, merengue, maxisi, and the rimbo into unforgettable dance styles. Argentine tango is a musical genre and accompanying social dance originating at the end of the 19th century in the suburbs of Buenos Aires and Montevideo. It is a typically has a rhythmic time signature and 2 or 3 parts repeating in patterns such as ABAB or the ABCAC. Next is the polka. Polka appearance in the mid-19th century created one of the largest dance crazes that our world ever seen. It managed to influence countless other dances and became national dance of many European countries and is extremely popular in the entire Western Hemisphere. Polka is a lively courtship dance of Bohemian folk origin. It is characterized by 3 quick step and a hop and his dance to music is 2/4 time the couple, the upper match face as they circle about the dance floor. The next is the S-Coast swing. It is a type of swing dance and has many variations. Which one of the most popular is Coast swing. This social partner dance is known today under the name of the Eastern swing, Jitterbug, American swing, S-Coastlandy, and then they originated between the 1940s and the 1960s as the alternative to the other types of the harder to learn swing dances. Next is the capoeira. Capoeira dance is a unique dance that can be found in the combat moves of the Afro-Brazilian martial arts in the same name that takes heavy inspiration from music, dance, and the acrobatics. The next is the country dance or the Western dances. The country dance style is a social dance activity that is closely associated with American country and its Western traditions. It is made not from a single dance but encompasses many forms and styles of dance that can be performed to country Western music. No matter the type of music, style, or dance type, country dance gatherings employ strong dance floor etiquette and even ability to perform multiple dance styles on a dance floor at a single time. 4. The folk dance, which is familiar tayo sa folk dance because we have folk dance here in the Philippines also. Folk dances represent musical, cultural heritage, reflection of daily life, or the ethnic history of people who live in a certain region or country. Popular all around the world in hundreds of unique variations and styles, folk dances. It is also known as traditional or the ethnic dances are usually performed at the dance gatherings with the accompaniment of traditional music of the region, which is mas madami tayong folk dances dito kasi iba-iba tayo ng kultura lalo na dito sa Pilipinas na maraming iba-ibang lahi or grupo na sa Pilipinas. Then the last is the belly dance. Belly dance is one of the most famous oriental folk dances in the world. It is an expressive form dance that originated from Egypt and it emphasizes the complex movement of the torso and the entire body, utilizing sudden percussive movements and stopping fluid body motions and presence of small and fast shivers and variation of hips or the rib cage. Belly dance is regarded as the very sensual, emotional, and captivating. The belly dance is we're so familiar po natin lalo na sa mga movies in the Egyptian. May sa mga movie nila may mga sumasaya talaga na belly dancing. So, familiar na tayo dito. The next category is the professional performance dance. Professional dancing was first introduced in the early years of Italian Renaissance when music, dance, arts, and poetry started to rise in the popularity after the millennia of the medieval stagnation. It is refined by the efforts of the France and Russia, and the ballet dance became the premier technical concert dance. It is hailed as one of the most revered and most complicated dance of all the time. Ballet continued its rise to worldwide domination. In the modern times, many other professional dances came to be such as contemporary dance, modern dance, concert dance, but none of them managed to surpass the capacity, physical strength, and heritage of the ballet dance. So, what is ballet? Ballet dance is, without any doubt, one of the most highly technical and famous of all performance dances. It was originally created in the 15th century Renaissance Italy but it received popularization in countries such as France and Russia. Ballet is an art form created by the movement of the human body. It is theatrical because it tells a story or expresses thought, concept, or emotion, and it is performed on the stage to an audience utilizing costumes, scenic design, and lighting. Ballet dance can be magical, exciting, provoking, or disturbing. The next is the contemporary dance. Contemporary dance is a highly complicated type of modern performance dance that originated in the mid-20th century as an alternative to classical dance styles such as ballet, modern styles or the free dance, and the jazz dance. It focuses on free leg movements, strong stress on the torso, disordered choreography, unpredictability, multiple and simultaneous actions, improvisations, and non-standardized costumes. Sets and lighting has pushed this dance into the forefront of modern art dancing. The next is the concert dance. Concert dance are also known as stage dance. Any choreographed dance that is performed for an audience, usually at the theater or an organized gathering setting with the presence of set of music. It is a polar opposite of social or participation dances, where participants can freely dance and how and when they wish. The next is the modern dance. Modern dance is an influential performance dance that originated as a creation against the classical ballet and its movement styles. Modern is a highly expressive style of dance that challenges the structured dance technique of the classical ballet. The focus of modern dance is expression rather than following a rigid set of postures or technical positions that ballet dancers are trained in. So, next is the tap dance. Tap dance, among many types of popular dances around the world, tap dance may be one of the most unusual dances. Instead of focusing on the body movements and dancing with a partner, tap dance is characterized by the creation of percussion like musically focused rhythm, performance using tap shoes, striking on the floor in accordance with the dancing music. The next category is the modern dances. Modern dances is an advancement in music technology brought the birth of many new types of dances. It is an introduction of electronic and rock music both in the era of house, punk, rave, and disco dance. Faraway country of India did not care much for those styles, and in accordance to the deeply seated religious beliefs, they incorporated dance of their gods to everyday life and was unprofitable Bollywood movie scenes. There are 5 different kinds of modern dances. First is the house dance, second punk dance, third rave dance, fourth disco dance, and the fifth is the Bollywood dance. So first is the house dance. What is the house dance? After the years of popularity of disco, the genre of house music and house dance became born in New York and Chicago clubs. Built on top of the subtler rhythms, beats of the music and influences of jazz, Latin, soul, funk, and R&B, and many other music styles. This social dance quickly found its way into homes and clubs across the entire world. Second is the punk dance. Punk dance is born as an extension of 1960s garage rock. The punk rock managed to attract fans who enjoyed not traditional social dances of before but more energetic and sometimes violent dance styles of moshing, or sometimes called the slam dancing, and headbanging. These dance styles were characterized by the strong and full body contact of live band audiences with frequent bumping and jostling both alone or in groups. The next or the third is the rave dance. Rave dance fueled by the unending focus on pulsating beats, loud volume, and psychedelic music effects. Dancers of rave music are free to create their freestyles of movements with no rules about dance routines or synchronized moves. Usually in dark, uncrowded venues of dance clubs, nightclubs, and festivals, dancers are encouraged to find inspiration in music, other people, and their mood, and on their mood also. Next is the disco dance. Disco dance is the popular disco music genre of the 1970s. Would not found such popularity if it was not so easy to dance with. Fans of this music often wore extravagant and sexy clothing while dancing free form of structured version of various disco dances such as pump or several variation of hustle, robot, boogaloo, Watergate, and the others. So, familiar naman tayo sa disco dance. Next is the Bollywood dance. Bollywood dance, the cultural history of India and the rest of the southern Asia would not remain the same without the strong influence of Bollywood movie industry, which has promoted Hindi dance music to the world, created as the mix of traditional Indian music, Hindi dance tradition of the Indian subcontinent, and Middle Eastern techniques. So, the Bollywood dance is makikita natin to sa mga movies, pinil doon sa yung kung nakita niyo yung movie na 3 Idiots, yun, mga dance styles doon. The next category or the last category of the traditional dance is the hip-hop and funk dance. This dancing style of hip-hop evolved from the music style that was first introduced during 1970s. Powered by the great popularity exposure in media, movies, and television programs, hip-hop dances found in a great foothold in the United States, France, United Kingdom, and South Korea. A very similar style called funk was also created during 1970s and is today regarded as one of the most influential pieces of hip-hop dances style. So, mas sikat naman talaga yung mga hip-hop dance ngayon, lalo na sa mga competition. Hip-hop and funk styles have 8 styles. First is the break dance, second bounce, electronic boogaloo, street jazz, jockeying, locking, and popping. The first style is the break dance or the breaking, one of the most athletic dances in the world. Break dance have originally found in popularity in the 1970s as the street dance in the New York, Bronx. Since then, it has spread all around the world where it has viewed as one of the most unique dance styles ever made. The next style is the bounce. Born in the 1980s as a mixed New Orleans hip-hop music and the tradition of Mardi Gras Indian chants, bounce dance can today be danced both in common and hypersexual form. The next is the electric boogaloo. Electric boogaloo is a funk style of hip-hop was popular not only by its music but also by the worldwide acceptance of the famous dance style called electric boogaloo, which was originally promoted in the 1970s by the dance group of the same name. Danced both by individuals and groups in both free form and choreographed manner. Electric boogaloo is filled with the wide variety of moves that focus on the movements of legs, hips, knees, and frequent use of exaggerated robotic-like moves. Next is the street jazz. Created with the influences of African American slaves, jazz dance gained popularity in the early 20th century as any form of dances that was performed alongside the new jazz music. It is highly improvisational and performed dance quickly morphed into a performance dance that emulated elements of ballet. Today, jazz dance is enjoyed in many forms, which are collectively called modern jazz dance. So, itong mga styles na to, kapag nakita mo na yung movie na Step Up, makita mo itong mga styles na to. So, yung movie na Step Up is a type of hip-hop dance. So, the next style is the juke. Juke, or so-called the gangsta wali o wailing. Style of dance is a street dance that originated quite recently in the 1990s on the streets of Memphis, Tennessee. The dance is characterized by the movement set that tries to emulate the bounce and the core beat of the crack music that often accompanies this dance style. Even though this dance has found some popularity worldwide and it is a regional dance that can be rarely be seen outside of the city of Memphis. The next is the locking, which is popular, which is known for one of the style of the hip-hop dance. Locking is a fast dance, is incredibly diverse, and one of the famous variation is locking. The core gimmick of this style of hip-hop dance is to suddenly stop and hold the position or get locked in the middle of the dance routines or the steps for a short while. Then suddenly resume the dance. It requires full body motion, but most of the dance is focused on the top half of the body. Many locking dancers prefer to use various acrobatic and physically demanding moves to augment their dance routines. The last is the popping, which is also known for the dance styles on hip-hop. It is a very close in style with popular electric boogaloo. Popping is another version of funk-themed street dance from the 1960s and 1970s that found popularity all around the world. The technique that dancers need to master to properly dance the popping is the controlled and quick constructing and relaxing of muscles that will create the feeling of a jerk throughout the body. This jerk is referred as pop or hit and can be used to augment dance routines, movements, and poses. So, kaya nang sinabi ko kanina, kapag nakapanood ka ng Step Up Dance na movie, nandun lahat yung makikita mo lahat ng styles of hip-hop dance. Kasi this Step Up movie is all about hip-hop dancing. So, there are different kinds of dance styles. First is the Indian classical dance, which is the Indian or popularly referred as a Shastriya Devesh in the religious Hindu musical theater styles, whose scripted theories and practices can be adapted from the Sanskrit text Natya Shastra in Hindu religion. It is believed that the Kala Bhairava or their Lord Shiva is considered as the master of the dance, and hence he is worshipped as the Nataraj. Indian classical dance were performed as a religious art inside the sanctum of the Hindu temple or Nirvari. There are 8 recognized Indian classical dance by the Sangit Natak Academy. First is the Bharatanatyam from Tamil Nadu, Kathak from Uttar Pradesh, Kathakali from Kerala, Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh, Odissi from Odisha, Satriya from Assam, Manipuri from Manipur, and Mohiniyattam from Kerala. Second style is the African American dance. The African American dance was started by the black people in the America. Before slavery ended in America, many Africans were transported to America as slaves. Kasi alam natin doon na grabe yung discrimination sa mga black people noon. Kahit ngayon, mayroon pa rin, pero hindi na masyado dahil may human rights na nakapaloob sa batas natin. Pero meron pa rin. Soon after the slavery ended, the Africans started to perform their native dance with a flavor of American moves, making it popular as an African American dance style. Placing a great value on improvisation, these dances are characterized by ongoing change and development. Even today, most of the black Americans from this style, some of the famous personalities who perform these dance styles are Michael Jackson, which is very sikat, and Miss T. Copeland. Some of African American dance styles performed today are the break dance, tap dance, swing, hip hop, disco, and the moonwalk, which is performed by only the Michael Jackson. Then next style is the novelty or the fad dance. Novelty or fad dances are typically characterized by a quick burst of popularity. Some of these dances may gain a longer lasting life. These are also called as trendy dance or the crazy dances, which becomes popular overnight. This type of dance were initially started by African American communities on the streets, in clubs, and discotheques dancing with some loud and energetic music. These are the fad dances that are meant to be danced individually, calling them as solo dancers. Some with partners, some with groups, and some of the novelty or fad dances were freestyle type. There are no particular dance types or pattern in these styles. There are example of this novelty or the fad dance are the bunny hop, the Carlton, Gangnam Style, Level Up, the Smurf, and the Moonwalk. The next style is the ceremonial dance. Ceremonial dance is a type of dance performed during any ceremonies or for any religious rituals. This type of dance is also called as ritual dance or the festival dance. Ceremonial dance is often related and overlaps to sacred dance and static dance type. This type of dance is usually performed to uplift the community spirit. The ceremonial dance type is different for different regions and also different in different regions, countries or places. This also ceremonial dance is a dance that welcome good spirit and today drive away the bad spirit. So it is a form of ritual dances also. Some of the best known ceremonial dance are Indian classical dance like Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, etc. Then the Hadra dances and Sufi whirling in Islam religion, dance in ancient Egypt, longsword dance in England, Morris dancing, rapper dance, ritual dancing of China, dances of Union Peace. It is the best known ceremonial dances in this type of dance type. It's the social dance. Social dance is a non-competitive or partner dancing that is relaxed, informal, and dance for the enjoyment and entertainment of the partners that are intended for participation rather than performance. Social dancing is less formal than exhibition dancing, and it is meant to be enjoyed while socializing. Social dancing is usually performed or enjoyed in wedding receptions, business functions, nightclubs, or informal gatherings. Some of the best known of social dance types are: first is waltz, line dancing, minuet, tango, swing dancing, hasapeco dancing, cha-cha, samba, and the nightclub freestyle dance. The next style is the Latin or the rhythm dance. This Latin is a performed partner dance style that is united by their place of origin of Latin America. This type of dance is invariably passionate and rhythmic while performing Latin dances hail from various countries in North and South America. And it is also has European and African influences. Latin dance is known for passion, the fire, and the energy, and because of these reasons, most of them started making this hobby of learning Latin dances. That also benefits from cutting down some pounds in their body and form of exercise also. Today, following the music rhythms and movements history, Latin dance evolved over time and has many Latin styles. Some of them are the salsa, bachata, samba, rumba, cha-cha-cha, jive, paso doble, and the zumba, which is the very well known over the world. The zumba dance. Style is the street dance. Street dance is a type of dance style that has been evolved outside the dance studios. These dances are performed on the streets, parks, block parties, clubs, etc. In fact, these dances originated at different times and places. For example, breaking is said to be evolved in the 1970s in New York. Nowadays, the term street dance and hip-hop dance are often used to refer to a studio-based version of the forms which came about after established teachers and choreographers of jazz. Ballet and contemporary tried to copy the street styles when they were popular. Some of styles of street dance are hip-hop, breakdancing, jerking, locking and popping, electro dance, tutting, and cracking. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ito mga street dance, pag gusto mong makita mga example, manood ka ng Step Up na movie, maganda ito na movie dahil tungkol to sa mga street dances, competition in the street dance, especially for hip-hop. There are 21 different types of dance. The first is the ballet, which is I explained earlier. Ballet is a dance, has its origin from Italy. The term ballet means to dance. This is usually accepted all over the world as one of the most artistic form of entertainment enjoyed by all ages. This dance is the combination of choreography and art, scenic design, lighting, costume, graceful movements with light classical music. These days, the traditional ballet dance is replaced with the new modern forms of ballet dance styles. Some of the forms of ballet dance are classical ballet, contemporary ballet, neoclassical ballet, and etc. This type of dance is not difficult to learn once you have identified your passion for it. The second is the Bharatanatyam. It is an Indian classical dance form having its origin in Tamil Nadu. It is a dance form practiced by both males and females. It is known among all for its tenderness and graceful expression and possess and beauty of the dance steps. Dancers wear anklets while performing, which consists of numerous copper bells attached. Dancer must excel in the art of perfect ringing of bells in the ankles and must also have proper control over it. Bharatanatyam is one of the well-known styles of dance in the India. The third is the Kathak. Kathak is an Indian type dance also, and one of which originated from the North Indian land. Among the many dance name list, Kathak is one beautiful form of art. Nomadic bards of ancient northern India are known to lay down the foundation of this dance form. They were known as storyteller or the Kathakars. The performers usually wear the famous lehenga choli costume while dancing. Even the copper bells used in Bharatanatyam are used in this dance form. The next is the break dance. Which is I explained earlier. It is a type of hip-hop dance. Break dance is also known as a street dance, was originated by Puerto Rican youths and African Americans. This dance form consists of 4 major movements: power moves, down track, top track, and freezes. This is a modern kind of dance that involves abstract body steps that may or may not convey anything. It is usually practiced by the youth. Kasi dapat Serious lang to kasi yung mga steps nito medyo mahirap, tsaka dapat mabilis ang galaw, tsaka may biglang hinto gaya ng sinabi ko sa locking. Medyo masakit din sa katawan kapag medyo matanda na yung sumasaya nito. Pero may iba din na mga matanda na sumasaya nito, pero kadalasan mga youth talaga ang sumasayaw. Next is the lion dance. The lion dance is the traditional dance form of Chinese culture which is performed in the Chinese New Year. In this form of dance, the performers wear lion costumes and mimic the moves and styles of a lion. This type of dance is amazing to look, and it's completely different from another dance form because you usually cannot see the person behind the costume in this form. So familiar naman natin tayo nito kasi nakita natin ito sa mga movies, lalo na sa Chinese New Year. Maraming nag-perform ng mga lion dance, lalo na sa Chinatown, the Chinese New Year. The next is the tap dance. Tap dance is the dance form one needs to tap the shoes on the wooden floor. The shoes are made up of metallic sole on the heel and the toe, facilitating the tapping sound. Para pag sumasayaw may ingay. Yeah, mga metallic yung gamit na shoes. Tapos yung floor is the wooden yung floor. The two well-known tap dance are the Broadway tap and the rhythmic tap. Tap dancing is also done in the cappella style, in which performers need to perform on music created from tapping. O gaya na mga nakita ko dun sa Asia's Got Talent na may nag-perform na walang music. Ang ginamit na niyang music habang sumasayaw siya, yung music na tapping galing sa kanyang sapatos. So, the next or the seventh is the kabuki dance. This classical Japanese dance drama is known as kabuki. This is known for its the stylization of performance and the elaborate and highly complicated makeup worn by the performance. Kabuki involves a lot of practices, and handling the costumes along with the dance steps needs experience. It was one of the major theatrical performance in Japan for about 4 centuries. So kabuki is dapat well-trained ka nito kasi yung costume medyo mabigat, tapos yung mga movements medyo mahirap. So dapat malaman mo ito o ma-practice mo ito ng maigi. Next is the salsa. I explained it earlier also, but salsa also will come in another type of Western dance which almost everyone knows and it's performed all around the world. Arms are used by the lead dancers to communicate with the followers. In this type of dances, the major expressive movements are done with the lower part of the body, that is the hips, the body, and the legs. The upper body remains on its level. Salsa can be performed in different styles, which can be identified on the basis or foot patterns. Turns and figures. On the basis of timing, body rolls, dance influence, attitude, and the way the partners hold each other while dancing. The nine or the next is the waltz. Waltz is the ballroom type of dance. The ballroom couple dance performed in close position is known as the waltz. This dance form had originated in the country of England during 1816. Several Victorian novels have the mentioning imperfect description of this dance form. While dancing, the man is required to clasp his arms around his female partner's waist. This type of modern dance requires performers to execute delicate and fluid moves and dance to slow melodic music. The next is the belly dancing. Belly dancing, one of the unique form of dance, and it comes under types of modern dance. It has the characterized by sharp and rolling movements of the abdomen and the hips. This dance form has different types of dance moves depending upon the region and the country. It is being perform movements of the hips and the torso communicate the maximum. Shakira, a famous Latin American superstar, was one to popularize this form during the 2000s. The next is the swing. Swing is, as the name sounds, is very interesting dance form. It is a group of dances developed with the swing styles dance, the chills of jazz music during the 1920s to 1950s. Swing is a blanket word to different dances such as jitterbugs, boogie-woogie, and lindy hops. This type of dance form is fun and the performers wear stylish dresses yet very comfortable. The next is the aerial dance. Aerial dance is a slowly becoming very famous these days. This dance form is not easy to perform and requires proper training, and it is first performed in the USA during 1970s. The name clearly indicates that in this form, the performer is required to perform in the air. The dancer hangs from any apparatus which is attached to the ceiling and performs steps in the midair. It provides a lot of space to develop a new idea and dance moves. That's why it is called the aerial dance. Kasi piniperform ito sa itaas, medyo delikado ito, kaya minsan lang ito natin makita. Mga professional lang nagpa-perform ito. Next is the tango, which is one type of the ballroom dance also. It is a partner dance originated along with the river plate during the 1890s rather. The partners in tango follow each other chest to chest with either an open embrace or a close embrace with a constant touch from the thigh area. Tango is a kind of ballroom dance and began in the working class court in Uruguay, Argentina, and Rio de la Plata. The next is the Fandango. It is a primary dance of Portugal. It is involved singing as well as dancing. Dancer tap their feet and quickly keep on changing position. This dance form is accompanied by the castanets, guitars, and even sometimes hand clapping. That's the Fandango. The next is the Cancan. Cancan is a very high energy and physical demanding hall dance. It is usually performed by women in a chorus wearing a beautiful costumes, which are long skirts with black stockings. The main feature of this form is lifting of the long frilly skirt high accompanied by the high kick. The next, or the 16, is the Latin dance. It involves two partners and resembles a ballroom dance also. It's originated in Latin America. The social Latin dance is international dance, includes the rumba, samba, and etc. The history of Latin dance dates back to the 15th century when the indigenous dances were the first recorded by the Europeans. Their dance form is deeply rooted in the history and is a must-watch entertainment. The next is the Persian dance, or also known as the Iranian dance. It refers to the type of dance form indigenous to Iran. The genre of dance in Iran usually vary depending on the area, culture, and language of the local people. They also range from sophisticated reconstructions or refined court dances to energetic folk dances. The dance style is the rhythmic and pleasing to watch. So, same lang to sa Philippines na marami din iba't iba din yung mga dances. Say, may iba't ibang grupo or languages na nakapalog sa ating bansa. The next is the Azerbaijani dance. This dance, there are a number of Azerbaijani dances that are practiced and used by the Azerbaijani people of Azerbaijan and the Iranis of Azerbaijan. Their dance is engaging and they differ from other dances and is famous for its quick tempo. They are entertaining to watch and is a national interest also. The next is the disco dance, which is I explained it earlier. Disco dance is a type of dance styles that is a musical style dating to early 1970s. It began from the USA urban nightlife scenes where it had been restricted to house parties. From there on, it began making regular mainstream appearances and gathered popularity. Its popularity was achieved something during the mid 1970s to the early 1980s. So, familiar naman tayo sa disco dance kasi alam naman natin na sikat talaga yung disco, lalo na pag may festas or may mga gatherings, lalo sa mga medyo mga yaman pagbabay, may mga disco dances talagang nagaganap. Next, or the 20 dance types is the folk dance, which is very familiar natin kasi maraming mga folk dances dito sa Philippines. Folk dance is a typical form of dance that is usually extensively performed in rural areas. It talks of the folklore of the village plight. It is a traditional type of dance pertaining to one set of people or community. The costumes are interesting and usually different the traditional dress of the community. Gaya ng mga sinayaw natin, mga banga dance, iba't ibang mga folk dance na sinayaw. Example na. Then, the last is the electronic dance, which is the style of dance is also known as electronic dance music or the EDM. This style started in Northern Europe during the 2000s and has become very popular in the next decades. This dance is typically performed to electro house music based on the different dance styles like disco, hip hop, and freehand glow sticking. So that's the 21 different types of dance. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something from my report. So this is the end of my report. Thank you so much.